woman never belongs to you. It's just your turn. You lost your edge, she lost attraction for you. That's how it works. What'd you think she was gonna do? Tell you she cheated? Men cannot afford to get complacent in relationships. Get your fat ass off the couch, start lifting weights, and learn game. You're welcome.
And now your man,
Donovan Sharpe.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 280th edition of TSR Primetime, your daily dose of red pill truth, wisdom, and awareness. I keep wanting to say nightly because, of course, this is TSR Primetime, but you guys know what I mean. This is your nightly dose of red pill truth, wisdom, and awareness. Shout out to Rob Cruzen on the Instagram feed. It is Thursday, June 21st, 2018, and it is the summer solstice, gentlemen. It is the longest day of the year, so apparently the sun's not going to set until midnight or something to that effect, so enjoy the daylight. This is the longest day of the year. Conversely, winter solstice is December 21st, which is the longest night of the year, so apparently the sun's supposed to set at 3 o'clock in the afternoon or something to that effect. Of course, I say that tongue-in-cheek, I say that in jest, but basically the longest days and nights of the year. Today is the summer solstice, so you guys can see, even though it's 7 o'clock p.m. out here on the East Coast, you guys can see out my window. Still looks like it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so enjoy the sunlight, enjoy the daylight, guys. The summertime is officially here. We are streaming live simultaneously on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter, and of course, DonovanSharpe.com. We are streaming across 8 different channels across 5 different platforms. So welcome in, everybody. It's good to see you guys in tonight. Good to have you guys in tonight, however you are watching the show. 516-666-9968 is the number to call. If you want to tell me what's on your mind, you can hit me with questions, comments, show ideas, personal stories you'd like to share. Anything else you want to get off your chest, 516-666-9968 is the number that you need to call. If you don't want to call, you can always chat. The chat window is right next to the video. If the video is running a little bit slow, and it looks like it's actually doing pretty good right now, if it's running a little bit slow on your end, click on the video only link just underneath the player, and that should do the trick. Follow, add, and like me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Just do a quick search for Donovan Sharpe on all 3 platforms. For all things Donovan Sharpe, go to DonovanSharpe.com. There you will find all of my content, which includes all of my episodes. Forgive me, guys. I'm actually going through some... Oh, there we are. Which includes all of my episodes, which includes appearances, as well as the archive of the more than 200 articles I have written for Return of Kings and NegroManosphere.com. I've written for both of those websites for a combined total of a little over 6 years. So if you're looking for a good supplement to the show, if you're looking for a little extra, wisdom, DonovanSharpe.com is certainly where you can find those things. Okay, let me go to the chat here. Shout out to Captain Crunch 420. Good to see you in here. And DonovanSharpe.com. Sharpe Assist making an appearance. The Jackman. Manesh as well. Here on the DonovanSharpe.com side. If you're on DonovanSharpe.com, you're obviously gonna get the shout out here. Shout out to Big Tron Fish. Shouting out to my Instagram guys, Jabari. Oh boy, wow, a lot of guys in Instagram. The Real J Shep, Jabari ST. Dude, some of these names, you guys are killing me. Like, Jesus Christ, whatever happened to, Brett Smith 212, right? Like, I got Jabari STL NYC Angel Sock 1990. Listen, no shade, guys. I got to be able to read this stuff on air. Jabari is having a rum and coke. He says God is great. Yeah, I imagine if you are drinking a rum and coke, God is definitely going to be great. So shout out to you. Rob Cruzen in here, son of a Don P. Big Tron Fish, Big Tron 2 Fresh, Jesus Christ. Music Mankind, Mr. Pirate Brain making an appearance. I haven't seen you in here in a while, Mr. Pirate Brain. Either I don't know. I might not have been paying attention. Of course, like I said, I got a lot of moving parts, but good to see you in here as well. Let me see who is in the house on the Facebook and Twitter side. I'm still waiting for that feed to load, so I'm not going to waste you guys' time, talk your ear off. Again, guys, for all things Donovan Sharpe, go to donovansharpe.com. That is the best place to watch the show. Well, let's go ahead and get to it, guys. Back in my early 20s, I was invited to a meeting by a really, really good friend of mine, right? He said it's a lucrative business opportunity. So I figured, what the hell, right? I mean, I'll go and see what this is about. I've always had a little bit of an entrepreneurial spirit, even in my early 20s. No problem. Well, of course, it turned out that this was another pyramid scheme being peddled by some fake celebrity or some low-level high roller who had given up his 7-figure income to pursue this incredible opportunity to become rich, financially independent, and be my own boss. We've all heard of these at some point in our lives, these pyramid schemes. Anyway, the one thing that stuck out to me, aside from, of course, the terrible acting and the fake applause from the audience, were all of the slogans and acronyms this dude was using. He was throwing these acronyms and slogans out like every 30 seconds. And every one of these bullshit acronyms he threw out made these people even more excited to throw their money away while simultaneously making fools out of themselves in front of their families and friends. Like, they were excited to do this stuff. For example, the word poor was acronymized as passing over opportunities repeatedly, as if to somehow implicate or imply that the reason people were poor was because they didn't get involved in pyramid schemes, unlike the brilliant people who happened to be at that meeting, and for the low price of $599 could change their lives. Even though I wasn't as hip to the script as I am now, I could sniff out a hustle a mile away. Josh Barr, my friend, I am on the air. For those of you guys who are on the Instagram side, you guys know, once I go on air, I am not bringing you on the camera. It is not that kind of party. Josh Barr, please do not do that again. I'm not bringing you on camera. Anyway, obviously, I didn't sign up for that bullshit proposition, but thinking back on that night made me realize that there are quite a few slogans that we as a people have accepted as gospel truth for no other reason but that we've heard them our entire lives. But if you break them down and really think about them, almost line by line, a lot of them we find don't really make much sense, and some are even patently false. Now, we've all heard expressions like beggars can't be choosers and better late than never since we were kids, right? These things, guys, these sayings have been around forever. Now, while there is truth in some of these sayings, there are quite a few that are complete bullshit. More importantly, is what a lot of men don't realize is that these sayings are holding them back as men and will continue to do so until they actually see them for what they really are and eliminate them from their thought process. But here's the thing, guys. What most of these sayings have in common is that females accept these as hard and fast truths regardless of context or circumstance. That fact alone, gentlemen, should set off alarm bells because we're raised to believe that women are infallible, right? Because we're raised to believe that women are infallible, we dismiss that basic instinct not to put our trust in a woman's intellect or rationale. Now, believing in bullshit sayings because they make sense linguistically or poetically, that's par for the course for women. This is just what they do. This is actually one of the easiest way to hack a woman's brain and make them believe anything. If you give anything an acronym or some sort of ironic poetry that simultaneously strokes a female ego, they'll believe anything. Doesn't matter what it is. You see it in advertising all the time, the ridiculous memes they post. But again, we expect this from women. But we as men, we have the ability to see through this bullshit and make up our own minds. The problem is that we're not. So I'm going to give you guys, tonight, 7 of the most prevalent words of wisdom that are absolute, complete bullshit. Here we go. We're going to attack the first one head on. The notion of karma. And of course, I'm using air quotes. Now, Another variation of this particular fallacy is what goes around comes around. Now, this particular maxim states that if you are a good person, if you do right by people and live a good life, then you will be rewarded with a good life and good things will happen to you. On the other side of that coin, if you are a bad person and do bad things, you will live a terrible life and bad things will happen to you because of karma. Now, the reason this proverb is untrue is because, gentlemen, there's no such thing as karma. There are many, many people in this world who do good things continually, but they get shit on by life. No matter how much good they do, life continues to kick them square in the balls. We see it, we see it all the time. This, incidentally enough, is what gave birth to the phrase, no good deed goes unpunished. We've all heard that, right? Well, if what goes around really did come back around, if there really was such a thing as this cosmic force that keeps everything in balance and rights all wrongs and vice versa, then good deeds would most certainly not go unpunished. Now, there is no greater example that shines a light on the erroneousness of the ridiculous concept of karma than the state of today's sexual marketplace. That's right, guys. Listen, all of this has red pill implications and connotations. We as men are told that the better we treat women, the better they treat us. If we're loyal to them, then they are loyal to us. If you've had any experience with women at all, then you know that there is no such thing as karma. In fact, it's quite the opposite because most women respond more favorably to poor treatment from men. Unappreciative, disrespectful, and outright abusive men, both verbally and physically, those guys enjoy more success with women than men who are respectful, accommodating, gentlemanly, and provide. What goes around comes around is also a statement that people cling to in order to cope with a wrong that's been done to them, right? So if a girl cheats on a guy, he'll keep repeating what goes around comes around. He'll keep repeating that to himself to make him feel better about the fact that she's getting pounded by someone other than him and the fact that she cheated on him. Women use karma, on the other hand, as an excuse for bad behavior. They'll go fuck their boyfriend's best friend and chalk it up to karma. Because he was so rude to me the other night, so he deserves it. Hashtag karma. Now, some guys might think, well, what about O.J. Simpson, Donovan? He got away with murder, but he went to jail for like a decade. Wrong. OJ went to jail because he trusted the wrong people and he allowed those people to lead him into a trap. Had he exercised better judgment, he would have spent the last 9 years in Las Vegas up to his eyeballs in women and cocaine instead of cleaning prison toilets in Lovelock, Nevada. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. I am a firm believer that for every sequence, there is indeed a consequence. If you drive drunk enough times, you're eventually going to get caught. You're either eventually going to get caught or you're going to kill yourself or somebody else. If you work hard at your craft, you'll get better. But the difference between that and karma is that these are things you have direct control over. But if you screw someone over or you get screwed over, whatever happens after that has little to do with what you did or what got done to you. Guys, shit happens. People get away with murder and other terrible things, and people suffer terrible things when they've done mostly good in their lives, and that's all there is to it. Men who believe in karma are weak-minded, lazy fucking cowards. They'd rather let the universe handle things because they're too fucking scared to handle it on their own by taking control of their own lives. If you are watching on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or YouTube, you can catch the rest of TSR Primetime, episode 280, on donovansharpe.com. So at this time, I'm going to say goodbye to you guys for now. But if you don't want to miss the rest of the broadcast, come on over to donovansharpe.com. We will be more than happy to see you there. TSR Primetime with Donovan Sharpe is brought to you by Happy Hippo Herbals, home of the highest quality craft